Today we are going to be drawing our air balloon artwork. This requires a lot of steps. Today we are going to be tracing the balloon with a tracer. We'll be drawing different patterns. Then we'll be coloring using construction paper crayons. The other steps include tracing with black oil pastel, cutting out our balloons, gluing it to a background, adding a picture of ourselves in the hot air balloon basket. So to begin today, you are going to need a white piece of paper, a tracer, and a pencil. Now I only have 2 tracers per table, so you are going to have to share. We are not going to start with our name, we are going to start with the balloon. Now it does not matter where you put the balloon, as we are going to be cutting these out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold it with my left hand. I'm going to trace with my right hand. So hold it still with my left hand and trace with my right hand, going nice and slow. Now because there's not enough for everyone at your table, you could ask the person next to you to hold it if you would like. Go ahead and trace your balloon. Next we are going to be drawing the lines. Oh, and actually before we draw the lines, we need our name. So on the back of our artwork, let's write our name, and I'm going to write it on the back of my balloon. So I can see the balloon is here. I'm going to write it here instead of somewhere else on the back. Now we are ready to draw the lines and the patterns. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to draw a straight line down to the bottom. Now the next 2 are going to be curved. So I'm going to start at the top, I'm going to curve it, and then at the bottom. Notice how it's the same curve as the side. Then I'm going to start at the top and do a curve to the bottom. So we have 4 different sections on our balloon. Now I'm going to start drawing different shapes and lines. Now you can use my ideas, but you should also be making your own creative choices. So I'm going to start with a line. Now I'm going to do a wavy line across the top, but you could do your zigzag, you could do it straight, just a little curvy, but I'm keeping it simple as we are going to be coloring these in. Then maybe I'll do another wavy line, and inside this wavy line I think I'll do some kind of shape. I'm going to do circles, but you could do squares, you could do hearts, you could do rectangles. It is up to you. Then I think I'm going to start doing some kind of shape. Again, keeping these simple as we are going to be coloring these in. And then I'm going to do a zigzag line beneath. Another zigzag line. Again, you are making your own creative choices, doing simple lines and shapes. So go ahead, take some time and add different lines and shapes to your balloon. Next at your table you're going to get a box of construction paper crayons. Now these are quite a bit brighter than normal crayons. However, some of them have been used a little bit, so you're going to have to unwrap them. So if you need to unwrap them, you can take your nail, your thumb or finger and peel it off just a little bit, but you don't want to peel it off too much. And you're going to start coloring in patterns. You can see on my finished artwork here I have used different patterns. So I have blue, green, green, blue, yellow, orange with pink here. I have different color purples, I have pink, blue, and I have different kinds of patterns with the color. Also notice that I took my time and you cannot see any white underneath that crayon. So I'm going to start here. And when I'm doing this, I am not scribbling. So I'm not just going to go like that and say that it's done. There's way too much white showing, and we want to do better coloring. So I'm going to color, and I'm going to color in the same direction Taking my time so you can't see any white. Then I think I'm going to do a pattern. Okay, I'll do orange next. With these, you do want to press pretty hard so that they're nice and bright, but not so hard that you break them. Continue my pattern, doing my best coloring, and you're going to keep going until your entire balloon is covered with beautiful colors. Once you have finished going over all of your details, or going over all of your shapes with colors, you are going to grab a black oil pastel and we're going to trace over all those pencil lines. So I'm going to go nice and slow. I'm going to start by outlining the balloon. You can see how I'm going nice and slow. Outline the 3 lines that we started with. So all of my original pencil lines. Oops, I have dots here. Once you are done tracing over everything with black oil pastel, you are going to cut out your balloon. Now I don't want to cut out the black outline, so I'm going to go around it. I don't want to see any white paper on the edges, so again I'm going to cut just maybe a little bit on that black line, but not so much, so that you can still see the black outline. You can throw your scraps in the recycling bin. And once you are done with cutting it out, I just want you to make sure that your name is on the back. Next, we are going to be making the paper for the background. And you can see that I have painted it with 2 different color blues. I have a lighter blue and a turquoise blue. And I have gone in with white oil pastel to make the clouds. At your table, you're going to have a piece of paper, a pencil, and a white oil pastel. Now the first thing I want you to do on the back is write your name. Then I want you to flip it over, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw different clouds. Now we're going to draw them really, really lightly with pencil first. And I'm not going to draw them in the middle because that's where we're going to glue our balloon. So I'm going to do them kind of around the sides. So let's all start up at the top. And again, you're going to draw it really lightly. I'm doing it a little bit harder so that you can see it, but you should do it really lightly. Then let's all do one up at the top right corner. It's going off of the page. One on the side. Notice how these are big. These are not just little clouds with little teeny lines. Little teeny lines would be very hard to color in, so they're bigger lines. And you should have about, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clouds. You should have maybe 5 or 6 clouds. Then, with your white oil pastel, you are going to color in the clouds. Now this is going to be kind of hard to see as the white does not show up, but just try your best. When in doubt, color more. You can always color more. And the reason we're doing it in white oil pastel is because the paint will not go over the white oil pastel. The white oil pastel resists the paint. Now we are ready to paint. At your table, you're going to get a placemat, a water bucket, a big paintbrush, and a set of tempera cakes. You're going to be using the light blue and the turquoise. Now it may look like I don't have a lot of turquoise, but that paint is around the edges, so I'm going to use that up. I'm going to start with the light blue. We're all going to start with the light blue. I'm going to dip my paintbrush in the water and go ahead and get the light blue. I'm just going to start by painting the light blue everywhere, and you'll notice that it doesn't go over those clouds. You'll also notice that I'm going pretty fast, using lots of water, going right over those clouds. Once your whole paper is covered with light blue, then I want you to rinse your brush and go ahead and grab the turquoise, the blue-green, and you're just going to go over it in just some places. Not all of them, just some. So you got to put some a little bit over here, a little bit down here, and a little bit up here, not everywhere. And that is it for the sky. Now we just have to let that wait and dry. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to glue our air balloon. We're also going to glue the little basket and glue ourselves on the basket and add those details. Now the first thing I want you to do is I want you to flip over your air balloon. I want you to open the glue, so you're going to have to open the top so you can't see that dot. And I want you to do an outline of the air balloon, not too close to the edge, and then a wavy line down the middle. Now we're going to put it up at the way top so we have room for our basket. So you can see it's almost touching the top. It's okay if it's going over some of those clouds, and I'm going to hold it for 10 seconds, maybe even 20. Make sure it's really stuck. Next, we're going to kind of grab our bodies and we're going to grab our basket and make sure that they both fit. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to glue. I have them both sitting there. I've not glued them yet, but I have them sitting there. I'm going to grab my body and I'm going to put just a little glue. We do not need a lot of glue so that it fits. And I'm going to hold myself there for 10 seconds. Then I'm going to grab the brown rectangle, do an outline of glue, maybe an X, and glue it so it's overlapping my body just a little bit. Hold it for 10 more seconds. The last step is to connect the air balloon. So we're going to draw a line down, a line down. Make sure we go all the way up there to the balloon and down to the basket. And then we're going to do kind of a checkerboard. Lines down and lines across. And then we are done with our air balloon artwork.